Hello and welcome to another App Dev League video. This one's going to be on an intro to CS. I'll be your instructor today. My name is Atreya. I go to Harker. I'm a sophomore in 10th grade. And some of my skills include Python, specifically machine learning, and JavaScript. So here's a brief overview of how this video is going to go. We're going to talk about what computer science is, go over a brief history, and an overview of some different fields. We're going to talk about how CS is evolving and how it's merging with other fields. And then we're going to conclude with what we at App Dev League will be covering in our computer science courses. Okay, to start off, what is computer science? Well, the formal definition of computer science is the study of computers and computing, as well as their theoretical and practical applications. In reality, a computer is just any machine capable of performing sequences of operations. And they're not just the conventional machines we associate with the word computer. Really what I want you to take out of this is computer science is a lot more than just coding. It's also heavily involved with logical and analytical thinking. And to further emphasize this point, let's look at some CS disciplines. You can see that computer science is just a broad term that encapsulates all these things, from data structures to computer architecture to networks to databases to artificial intelligence and robotics. So really, CS is a lot more than just coding. It's all these fields put together. All right, let's talk about a brief historical overview of computer science. So around 500 VC, the first Greek abacuses were invented. An abacus was a really simple machine that allowed you to do sort of calculations using these beads. So you could move beads to represent addition, subtraction, and then multiplication and division. By the late 1800s, during the technological revolution, machines and some very early forms of computers were increasingly used in mass production of goods like textiles. And this led directly into the invention of the Turing machine by Alan Turing in 1936. Although it wasn't an actual computer, the Turing machine provided an abstract model for computation and logical operations that would later be used in the first computers. And one of the first computers was the ENAIC, which was built in 1945. And this was the first general purpose digital computer that was modeled on a Turing machine, actually. And it could perform multiple sets of operations and computations. In 1958, the first perceptron, or basically the first bit of AI, was invented. I won't go into this topic too much because we have a whole App Dev League AI series. But basically, this was the foundational part of AI that was founded in 1958. And then in 1975 and 76, tech companies Microsoft and Apple, two of the most recognizable ones today, were founded. And in 1989, the internet, more formally called the World Wide Web, was put into place, which revolutionized sort of tech and sort of global communications forever. All right, so let's look at how CS is evolving now. Some of the fields CS is increasingly involved with include biochemistry, sports, and agriculture. So in biochemistry, researchers are using AI to create new proteins and organic molecules. In sports, many teams are using data-driven models to better understand athletic performance and how athletes can improve. And in agriculture, computers are used to track and predict droughts and flooding patterns to help farmers grow crops more effectively. All right, so what will we cover in our courses at App Dev League specifically? We're going to focus on 5 main areas: programming languages, machine learning, web development, game development, and competitive programming. In our programming languages course, you'll learn the fundamentals of Python and JavaScript and how to apply them to simple projects. In our machine learning and AI course, you'll learn about regression, random forests, and neural networks, and you'll also get some hands-on experience coding some of these models. We also have a web and game development course, and you'll learn how to create websites and games from scratch in those. And then our competitive programming course will teach you guys how to learn to solve competition programs using algorithms and data structures. All right, so that's it for this intro to CS video. Make sure to check out the rest of our playlist to learn more about the content we talked about here. And then you can find us at www.appdevleague.org or at any of our socials. Thank you.